Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
They're polite. They just take the time for you.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
I like the Angels for what they've done for me.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching. Thanks as always to the producer of our series, Jeff Durall. We're at the campus of Prep-Marian at Hayes and visiting with principal at Prep-Marian Junior and Senior High, Chad Meitner, as we talk about the new school year at Prep-Marian with the principal. And of course, Chad, to begin with, we always like to start with the changes for the school year. What can folks anticipate?
Well, there's always plenty of those any school year. So, well, first of all, we have 5 new staff members, 4 teachers and a new administrator. So the students and the parents will probably notice some new faces and new names on the report cards. The new administrator is Troy Schulte. He's an activities director. He comes to us from Archie, Missouri, which is a community about the size of what T&P school is, Prep-Marian. And he has 20 years experience as an educator and an administrator. And so he's also an alum from 1989. So we're excited to welcome him back. And then we have 4 new teachers. We have Jason Cawley, who will teach current events, weights, and he's also our new football coach. We have Sheris Coombs, who will be our new business teacher. She'll take over that department. Jay Harris, who will help us start a agricultural science program, which we're really excited about because it's some new offerings and electives, which everybody likes a variety. And for the vast amount of career options out there, and especially locally, we think that's a great option for us to help kids prepare for their careers. And then, and finally, we have Mrs. Nancy Flax, who will be our art teacher, and she's coming. She had just most recently taught 15 years at Hayes High School, and she's going to join us this year. So we're very excited about our new faces.
Know Nancy well, as a matter of fact. So a good group coming for the new school year then.
Yes, very a good mix of experience, but yet they all still have a lot of energy, and they're excited to be here, and we're blessed to have them.
What do the enrollment numbers look like for the new school year, Chad?
The high school has 218 students, freshman through senior, and then the junior high is 97. And so the total there is a little over 320. The
parents, students that are coming to campus here will notice a whole lot of activity going on already with construction going on. There's the field house renovation, there's the 4th floor renovations taking place. Outline some of those improvements and changes as far as the construction work, would you, Chad?
Sure, yeah, we're excited to always have some progress. It always is a little inconvenient during the process of the construction, but to be able to be improving on these facilities it feels good. The visible things from just if you're driving by on Hall Street, you'll see there's a new parking lot that we expanded and a new surface put in, and that is we're at the phase where we're putting a sealant on it, and then we hope to be able to park cars there within 2 weeks. We need to let it cure a little bit before we can bring in the vehicles. You also notice, folks probably seen the restroom renovation. It's an addition that's on the south end of the field house, and that will more than triple our previous restroom capacity for the public and update them. The building is pushing 70 years old, and so those restrooms were in dire need of renovation, and it'll be wonderful impression and just a good facility for everybody when they come to games or graduation or for whatever.
Now, what about access to the field house itself? Some improvements there as well as safety concerns are addressed, right?
Yeah, whenever we put in, I'm not sure how many linear feet of sidewalk, but we've put in quite a bit of new sidewalk with ADA accessible ramps and 0-point entry on a lot of places. And whenever we do that, we'll take that into consideration. There's still some steps to get into most places, but now we have at least 2 or 3 entries where there's 0 steps or a ramp. and so folks can get into the field house from multiple directions, hopefully a little easier.
Now, we're still going to have the soccer fields out front of the field house, right? Aren't they going to remain there?
Oh, the fields to the north?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the parking lot expansion took a little bit of that green space, but otherwise those fields will still be there for the PE classes, for practices, for camps, and all sorts of things.
Now, what about the fourth floor renovations? This was part of the auction, the ACE auction back in 2014. What's happening there, Chad?
Well, we finally have some good direction there. We spend a good part of the time demolition, breaking it down to the bare bones, because we needed to, for the plans we had for the field house, or excuse me, for the fourth floor, we had to really much start from scratch. And now we're at that point where everything's been brought down to the bare bones, and we're ready to put in or start planning what it would look like to have I would say like a dining facility, a conference hall, a gathering space where people can have maybe an alumni gathering. And so that's going to start with that facility, the restrooms, and then a kitchen, kind of like a caterer's kitchen to be able to service that. And then there's so much space up there. There's other options for that east wing of the fourth floor, but that's still kind of in our long-term planning about what we'll do with those spaces. But we do know with pretty good certainty that we now need to start designing that gathering space. That's
part of what your contributions to the ACE auction are enabling Prep-Marian to do on a regular basis. Well, now right up there beside you is one of the biggest changes that's coming this year, and I think everybody's pretty excited about that, Chad.
Yeah, curricularly and technology-wise, this is a Chromebook, and it's not too big, but it's not too small. And we're real excited about being able to give one of these to every single student. And we had a very generous donation to make that possible at no cost. But there are some families who even, besides the fact that it's free, are deciding to purchase them because they're familiar with it as a tool, and they know that it's very valuable and user-friendly. So the teachers have been learning how to interact with the students with a virtual classroom and the Google Classroom, and that will be a big change for the students, but one that they're very excited and the teachers are very excited to welcome.
So help me understand this. Through Google, then, there are actually some classroom areas that teachers can utilize to enhance their learning capacity and their teaching capacity.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you never want to adopt something like this and then it just becomes a toy that's entertainment. You'll be able to collaborate between teacher and students themselves will be able to collaborate with each other in a whole different way. They'll be able to store their classroom notes, their papers, their information in one spot. They'll be able to access it anywhere in the world where they can get an internet connection and be able to communicate with their classmates. And so that, as well as the abilities to do broadcast or recording and multimedia types of presentations, it's necessary in the world we live in so that they're prepared for whatever career they get into, that they're aware of this technology, and we're excited to be able to bring it to them.
Boy, that just opens a whole new world, doesn't it?
Yeah. You can't just use it to do the same old things that you would with, okay, I'm going to project something on the board, and that's not much different than a chalkboard. But when you use it to its capacity to be able to collaborate and share information and research, then you really start to unlock its potential.
But which classroom are we in, by the way, Chad?
Oh, well, we're in a history classroom, American history. Mr. Bob Lycombe imparts his wisdom here. And the great thing about the Chromebook, because they are pretty small and light, they're going to be carried around to every single class. They'll be able to take it home on the weekends. And when in class, they can use it to take notes and do their projects. And the teachers will submit a lot of information, textbooks, types of things through this, and they'll access it all on this device. And it's big enough to where you can type. I mean, have you ever tried to type anything substantial on a smartphone? you know it's not going to get very far very fast. So they can do some robust term papers with this, plus just stick it in their backpack or their case and be mobile.
I just heard our producer Jeff Durall snicker when you said that, so obviously he's tried to type on a smartphone
I think
and
we
not
all
had
have.
much success.
I think we all
assume.
have, and it's
But it's good to
tedious.
see for some of us, Chad, it's good to see that there's still books, there's still desks, there's still chalkboards, although they're dry erase boards
Yes,
now, in the classroom. So some things do remain constant, don't
Yeah.
they?
Oh, yeah. We still have a majority of our classes are textbook driven, as well as the materials that teachers bring in and maps. And yeah, you can project things, but it's nice to have the tactile ability to still touch and draw and write within a group setting.
Different learning styles for different students
Exactly.
sometimes.
Exactly.
Your second year now at TMP-Marian. You've had a year under your belt. Tell me about some of those first year thoughts from TMP-Marian in your first year as a principal, Chad.
Well, one word that just pops into my mind quickly is family. I mean, I came in a year ago, a little over a year ago, and felt that sense of family, that the people in this community, not just the school building, but in the community of Hayes, care about their community, care about the families here, and the education system. And so there's just been a lot of support financially, a lot of support emotionally and psychologically, and a lot of good talented people who want to help, and it means a lot to them, and you can tell by how invested they are in this school, in this community.
Well, what about your family now? Tell us about your family.
Oh, well, we're settling in well. We bought a home in April, and so we're homeowners in Hayes now, so we can be just a little more part of the community and getting settled. And it's a place that my wife Sarah, we've been married 13 years, and we have 5 children. My oldest is 12 years old, and my youngest is 2. And we'd like Hayes to be a place where we, call home.
There's nothing dull in the Meitner household then.
No, not at all.
Not at any time.
My wife wonders why I'm at work all the time, and she accuses me of escaping the craziness of home, which maybe there's a grain of truth to that.
Indeed. Do you have a wish list as principal for the second year, Chad?
Oh, there's always things. One of the wishes, I think, if you want to use that word, is that I personally continue to grow in my understanding of this community, because even though I've been here a year, that's still not enough time to know the connections of the families and the people, and to really know what maybe needs to be changed, what needs to be preserved, and what needs to be fostered. But I think my wish for this school is that we continue to build a long-term plan about where physical buildings and physical renovations would occur, and that all works together, so that we're not building something on this corner of campus that later conflicts with something we want to build somewhere else, and misuses resources. Without a plan, I find that a lot of times we make decisions rashly and sometimes wastefully. Well, if we have a long-term plan, my wish is that now everything we do decide is leading us down that path to get us to where this school can last another 100 years.
And in addition, maintaining that sense of family that's so important to
Right.
the TMP-Marian group.
Yeah, we're not a business. I mean, we have to do some things like a business, but we're a school. We're a ministry of the church. We need to be a member of the community and give, not just take from the community. So all of those things, I think, are what I think this school has done very successfully, and I hope we continue.
Chad, I understand that you and new USD 489 Superintendent John Thyssen are talking about some initial planning, maybe some initial meetings on a benefit, potential benefit for both TMP-Marian and USD 489.
Yeah, I've had an opportunity to meet Mr. Thyssen, and real impressed with him and his vision. And we both felt pretty comfortable that we need to try to work together whenever we can. And that's a very, very noble thing to do. And I think we need to flesh out some of the details, but I think philosophically we're both in the same boat, that if there's ways we can save our community money by working together, if there's ways that we can increase the time together or the abilities to work together, to just show a unified front for Hayes, then we need to do that.
Chad Meitner, Principal, Prep-Marian Junior Senior High School. From the Prep-Marian campus, our Community Connection.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
And the Angel Care nurse comes to see me once a week.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
Angel Care has helped to stay home.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.